You know what's cool? Guns. You know what people are always telling you not to use in Project Zomboid? Guns. Well, I'm personally a big fan of them. I think more players should be too. And I've come up with a plan to secure a crap ton of guns and ammunition. You see, ever since Build 42 came out, there's been a new spawn location called Echo Creek. And right next to Echo Creek, there's this massive gun store called Guns Unlimited. The only problem is, there's like a billion zombies there. Realistically, the only way to get into Guns Unlimited is to have unlimited guns. Fortunately, Build 42 also gave us Irvington, which has a shooting range with a very low population of zombies. So I'm gonna steal all of Irvington's guns, and then attempt to fight for control of Guns Unlimited to see if it gives me enough weaponry to actually get to Louisville. You see, despite my massive amount of hours I have in Project Zomboid, I've never actually been to Louisville in a single player save. I've also never had a plan like this before. And like Mike Tyson said, everyone has a plan until they get punched in the mouth. Wait, that's not... Anyways, who's our survivor? Ladies and gentlemen, meet Chastity Hynes.
Hey!
As a police officer, Chastity knows how to handle a ranged weapon. However, in a pinch, she can rely on long blunt weaponry. She's agile, but kind of a glass cannon. And don't forget the glasses. So we spawn into a trailer, and we realize... What the shit? Where's my shirt? Yeah, some mod is preventing us from wearing a tank top and a crop top at the same time. Drip aside, we could still play. I mean, we could until I found out...
Huh? Nope. Huh?
So yeah, I gotta fix my mod real quick. Hold on.
All right, let's do this one last time.
This is Chastity Hynes, a police officer who wears glasses. She spawns into a house and... Where are all the zombies? Hello. I'm on Apocalypse, so check the mods.
All right, people, let's do this one last time.
Chastity, please, glasses.
Hey!
Oh, I forgot the glasses. Whatever, we'll just find a pair and a zombie. I'm not restarting again. We start out by searching our spawn house while we set the TV to life and living to get some passive EXP. We get a level in cooking, but unfortunately, we're not able to find anything useful in our starting house. The best weapon we find is a pen. A blue pen. However, knowing the pen is mightier than the sword, we take a step outside and... Oh. Screams? How brave of you, Chastity. How brave. We get to work on our first step of the plan. Finding a pair of glasses by just bullying some zombies. Are you wearing glasses? Yes. No, I can't tell. Yeah, it turns out not having glasses makes it hard to figure out which zombies are actually wearing the glasses. We continue our search when suddenly...
Yo! Is that a Supra?
No, Chastity, that's the Skyline R32.
Oh.
You really need those glasses, don't you? Ignoring the broken Skyline, we continue our search for a pair of glasses when we actually find a zombie that has a pair. Glasses? The zombie drops them and we quickly put them on. Oh, prescription glasses.
I can see!
I can fight!
Ow. Now that we've restored vision to our character, we can focus on our next two goals, finding a car and finding a base. The base should be pretty easy. The gas station over here makes for a great base, so I'm gonna go ahead and go there. For a car, there's plenty of them here, and most of the time a key will spawn inside the car or on a nearby zombie. There's also a bunch of cars at the gas station and in the surrounding area, so this should help us with both goals. We get into a small fight in the back of the gas station with nothing but a pen and our sneakers as weapons, which ends up becoming a bit more than we can handle as we have to bravely run away.
Nope.
Why are you running?
As we run away, we come across another Skyline. However, the area is far too populated for us to actually check for a key, so we continue our flight into the suburbs. We enter a house and come across a lone zombie when suddenly...
Oh, Jesus Christ!
We end up getting lucky though, as we just get scratched on our left hand. I'm sure it'll be the last close encounter that we have to deal with. We try to rip up our old shirt to use as a bandage, but these zombies are too persistent. We cave the zombie's skull in with our boots and continue to look around for supplies. We break into a house with a basement and find our first semblance of a weapon, a large handle. We make a backpack out of a sheet we find in a closet and get into a small tussle with a pack of zombies.
Hey everyone, it's a jungle out there. I had to beat an old lady with a stick to get these cranberries.
This clears us a path to the gas station, which is good because we're getting pretty anxious and we desperately need a source of nicotine. We take the cigarettes and decide to have some fun with the scratch tickets.
Let's go gambling! Aw, dang it. Aw, dang it. Aw, dang it.
With this, we pretty much secured our base, so we move on to our next goal of finding a ride. Neither of the vehicles in front of the gas station had a key, so we'll have to look elsewhere. We spot a nice looking van next to a small pack, but it's locked. So we decide to take out the pack in order to see if one of them has the key. However, none of them have it, so we continue our search. We're a little thirsty after that fight, and we don't have a water bottle yet. So we head back to our base to grab a drink, when I remember I never actually cleared out the upstairs. We take a look around, and hey, look what we find.
Pizza time.
I'm gonna take this opportunity to say, hey, drop a like if you like what you've seen so far. Our handle broke during the last fight, so we grab a rolling pin from the kitchen and head to the bathroom to wash ourselves and all our clothes. Chastity has the fear of blood trait, which means that if we stay bloody, she's gonna continue to be anxious.
Don't touch me, I'm sterile.
Having run out of cars to check, I decided to head to the guardian store at the south of the city. There's a parking lot there that usually has a bunch of cars. However, I end up getting sidetracked when I spot this beauty. Yo! We're obviously gonna have to look for a key in the car, in the Horde, and in the house.
I'm tired of this, Grandpa.
That's too damn bad.
We ended up not finding the key on any of the zombies, in the house, or in the car. However, one of the zombies did drop a duffel bag for us, so we transfer our inventory over and swap bags. We were going to continue to the gardening store when I took a look at my watch and realized it was about to get dark. And Build 42 darkness is not something I want to mess with, so we just headed back home. We stopped at every car on the way back, but all of them were either locked or didn't have a key. A car might be the most important part of my plan, so we were going to need to do something about it. We had a quick wash in the sink, a nice juicy steak, and then went to bed. We ended up waking up at 4 a.m. while it was still too dark to go outside. So we roamed around the house taking inventory of what we had. We were able to find a vital tool / backup weapon in a claw hammer, as well as a 1911 with a box of ammo.
Yoink.
We went to check out the basement and found a nice long blunty weapon and a snow shovel, as well as a bunch of other goodies. I decided our best bet to get a car was to learn to hotwire by getting 2 mechanics and 1 electrical. So I went to go check out the garage.
Here in my garage.
I was hoping to at least find a wrench, but wouldn't you know it, this garage didn't have one. It did have a copy of Mechanics 1 though, which will be super helpful.
Knowledge.
We went up to our living room to read the book when suddenly, do not interrupt me during private reading. Chastity is a slow reader, so by the time we finished, it was nearly 5 o'clock. We went out front to go mess with one of the cars and see how we could get some XP. I thought I'd be able to take the windows out at least, but I forgot I needed a magazine in order to tell me how to do that. So all we could do was take out the headlights and the radio. The XP grind was gonna be slow. As for electrical, we didn't have a book, so we would just have to go dismantle every electrical component we found. We only needed 1 level, so it was tedious, but possible. We were going trailer to trailer, taking apart all the TVs, when I accidentally attracted a rather large horde. Mid-fight, my phone started vibrating, and I took my hand off the keyboard to try to get it to shut up, and then this happened. With the dog's virus deep in our veins, there was only one thing we could do. Go home and take the cure. And see, it worked, guys. I even got my old shirt. Just gotta take care of this old zombie and ignore that. Don't mind me, just rereading mechanics. For funsies. I also forgot to mention we found this commercial repair manual, which will allow us to grind some XP on trucks and vans. Chastity's hard at work moving light bulbs from cars, when suddenly she decides it's time to use that spawn pistol you get in Build 42. There's a lot of zombies by the big lot of cars, so let's just take them out in one go. Chastity clears her pursuers, but fails to clear the area. The panic we were experiencing prevented our gun from being very effective, so add beta blockers to list the things we need. I remember we still haven't checked the guardian store for a car, and decided we should give it a shot. So I stop in a vehicle that I remember seeing a flashlight in, just in case we end up having to come back at night. We jog our way down there, and spot a singular vehicle outside of the store.
Please! Please!
Fortunately, the car has a key, which will save us from having to learn how to hotwire. Unfortunately, the car's out of gas.
Ironic.
Which prevents us from actually driving anywhere. We take a look inside the store and find the exact weapon I was looking for. A gardening fork. It's a spear type weapon, so we might pivot to those as our backup of choice. We also find a hatchet and a whetstone, as well as a few rakes that we can carve into spears. That's all we take, as we're gonna have to walk our asses back home. When we get home, we check the garage for a gas can, but we can't find one. So we empty out our water bottle and fill it up with gasoline, as it should be enough to allow the van to drive back to the gas station.
Oh shit. Here we go again.
We read through Maintenance 1 late into the night as we want to protect our garden fork's durability, and in the morning, have a cigarette for breakfast as we get ready to walk our way back to the garden store. Since we've read Maintenance 1, we go ahead and fight every zombie we see on the way in order to start leveling it.
Doctor, turn off my pain inhibitors.
When we get to the store, we grab any farming supplies we need, fill up the van, and start driving back home. Now that we have a car, we can actually drive to the Irvington gun range. However, we can't do it now because it's so late that by the time we get there, it'll already be pitch black outside. We get home and start organizing the base. When I start trying to remember how to craft spears. Last time I played, pretty much the only way to get the materials you needed was by forging, but I think I recall reading in the patch notes that small trees drop saplings now, and since we have a hatchet, we can test that out. So it looks like we'll be good on craftable spears, but I want to try and fire harden them in order to get even more durability. So we make a fire pit and take this opportunity to do a little body cleaning too. We try and fire harden the spears we made, but I forgot we need a recipe in order to know how to do so we can't do it. Finally, we board up this window and head off to bed, knowing we'd have a fight on our hands tomorrow. We start off the day by making a bacon, ground beef, and frozen peas stir fry.
Finally. Some good fucking food.
We're gonna use that as a mid-fight meal. We take off from the gas station and arrive in Irvington about 3 hours later. The central part of Irvington is pretty dense with zombies, but as you can see, once we get to the gun range, it thins out a lot. We hop out of the car and get ready to clear it out. Following that battle, we take our union-mandated lunch and smoke break,
500 cigarettes.
and then head inside to check out the loot. One of the zombies we killed also had a hiking bag with a bunch of books and food in it.
And I gotta tell you, it was perfect. Perfect. Everything, down to the last minute details.
So we go ahead and do an inventory transfer and swap out the backpacks. We find ourselves 4 shotguns, 2 308 rifles, a holster and a bunch of pistols, and just all the ammo I could ever ask for.
Armed and dangerous!
They must have buffed the spawn rate of this place because I do not remember it giving me this many guns. When all is said and done, we fill up all 6 seats, the trunk, and the glove box with either guns or ammunition. And we're still over encumbered as we can't fit it all in the van. The only problem is, since we don't have any beta blockers, the only one we can use is a shotgun. However, there is a medical place on the way back, but it's completely surrounded by zombies. I try to lure them away using the horn, but I may have just made things worse.
Back with another milk.
Help! Help! Help me!
We're able to just get out of that situation and decide to go look for beta blockers in our spawn town. Pulling into the gas station at roughly 9 o'clock, we start unloading the van.
You know me, son! Get it! 19! You know me, son! Who's gonna carry the boats and the logs?
Once all is said and done, we end up having to make 3 separate gun cabinets. We go ahead and go to bed, and in the morning, we catch some Life and Living while reading up on Electrical 1. Despite not needing the hot wire anymore, it still might be easier to get to Electrical 3 than to find a generator magazine. So our new morning routine is to read up on this.
What up? I'm Jared, I'm 19, and I never fucking learned how to read.
We go ahead and top up all our M9 magazines, as it might be a good idea to start leveling our aiming with what we plan on doing today. Basically, we plan on going to every single house and looking for a single beta blocker. Surely someone in this town has them. We end up setting off an alarm and getting drowsy, so we head back for the night. We end up tilt firing our gun right next to our base and attracting a small group of zombies right to our HQ. We deal with them swiftly though and go unpack everything we got from our looting spree. Even though we didn't find any beta blockers, we did find some alcohol, which can be used as a painkiller, beta blocker, or sleeping pill. I'm not sure how it will affect our ability to aim though, so it's a last resort. We then head off to bed and then do our morning routine to prepare for another day of searching. Prior to heading out, we repair our garden fork with some duct tape. It's one of our most important tools, so we need to keep it in good condition. We only have a few houses left to check, so we just get right to it. While pulling into the second house, we spot a lone zombie and shoot it with our pistols. The noise ends up attracting a bunch more, and we start freaking out. However, this gives us an opportunity to test out the alcohol.
2 shots of vodka.
It gets us a little tipsy, but also completely takes away our panic.
Anyway, I started blasting. No, I don't see so good, so I missed.
We take care of the zombie threat, but don't find anything of value in the house, or the one next to it, leaving only the trailer park and the ones across the river unlooted. We head back home for a quick reload, and cross the bridge to investigate the final houses. We clear out the area with our trusty M9, but still failed to find any beta blockers. But it's not all a loss, as the last house we check has a generator magazine.
How'd that get in there?
And a generator. So we're good on power for the future. We head back home feeling slightly disappointed, but also a tad bit optimistic. The alcohol we've been drinking has been doing wonders for our panic, so we may not even need beta blockers anyways. We decide tomorrow's the day we raid Guns Unlimited. This means the rest of the night we're just gonna take it easy. We watched an episode of Car Zone, which gives us 2 levels since we read the book, and then start prepping for tomorrow's fight. First, we load every single one of our M9 magazines, but end up going with the 1911 because I have some thoughts on the M9.
It's the biggest piece of dog shit.
We then decide on our primary. We're between this M14 we found the other day and one of the shotguns we got from the gun store. In the end, we decided to go with the shotgun since the shooting we do will give us aiming levels, which will help with the M14 later on. Then we head off to bed knowing tomorrow will be the day of reckoning. Just because there's a fight today doesn't mean we can skip our morning routine. So we do some reading by the TV. We then pack our lunch by making a stir fry, and look at all the seasonings we have now. Preparations made, we set off for Guns Unlimited. But before we get there, I make a pit stop at this house that had a dust mask. We don't have a gas mask, so I'm a little concerned about corpse sickness, and this is the best thing I can think of.
You haven't thought of the smell!
We stop at these logs, as I want to give myself some running away room in case things get dicey. Shotgun in hand, we approach the complex and prepare for war. We had exhausted all of our shells and alcohol reserves. And in addition, the massive recoil from the shotgun had us writhing in pain. It was time to go home. Walking through a sea of corpses, we returned to our van. Although the raid hadn't been successful, we made great progress, as our kill count had ballooned to nearly 500. We returned home just in time for woodcraft.
Nice.
And settled in to watch it as we came up with tomorrow's plan. Although we were out of shotgun shells, we now had 5 aiming, which means we should be able to effectively wield the M14. We prepped for tomorrow by refilling our flask with fresh whiskey and stuffing our backpack with as many .308 rounds as humanly possible. We then read until our hands stopped writhing in pain, and then promptly went to bed, ready for one last push. Yeah, we woke up 3 hours later. Clearly, Chastity was too nervous to sleep. We killed some time by making a stir-fry lunch, and then reading our favorite book again, Electrical 1. As we left the gas station, Chastity took in one last cigarette to steal her nerves. Fearlessly, she pressed on to where the pile of corpses lay from the day before. Entering the shopping center, she's immediately greeted by the undead. That last shot, the coast was clear. We run back to the van so we can move it closer to the store and get ready to take a look at what's inside. A lone zombie blocks our way, but is swiftly dealt with by our 1911.
45, huh? Incredible.
We step inside and start taking a look around, and holy crap, we hit the jackpot.
I've looked at this for 5 hours now.
I've never actually seen one of these spawn in-game before. There's also this dark, scary area over here. We're just gonna avoid that. We end up just grabbing all the ammo we can get our grubby little hands on and skipping weapons for the most part. They're heavy and we don't need repeats from what we already have. Our van is starting to get pretty full, but I don't want to leave without checking the whole place out. There's one item in particular I'm looking for, an aiming book, because if you recall, we need 3,000 XP to get to level 6, and we're only getting 1 XP per shot. We look in the back rooms for it, and we're able to find the reloading book we need, but fail to find the aiming one. We're starting to get drowsy, and I keep hearing the zombie but can't see him. So I just say screw it and head back home.
Bye, have a great time.
We stay up late into the night trying to organize everything that we got. And in the end, our gun cabinets look like this, with the addition of 2 more containers. We then head off to bed, dreaming of the big city. So that was my raid on Guns Unlimited. I expected it to be harder, as last time I did it, just the road leading up there looked like this. They also definitely upped the spawn rate of guns. If you've made it this far in the video, you must have liked what you've seen, so please do a like, comment, subscribe. I'm a small, unmonetized channel at this point in my career, so the only thing that keeps me going is seeing the number go up. You can expect a part 2 to this eventually. Leave a comment on what you would like to see me do in it. All right, see you guys later. Bye.